Seriously though, if whiskey tastes like a grow bag, it probably comes from Islay. Is that a whiskey fact?
Probably. Now we're getting into a truly important part of Islay's life, the Peat Bogs.
It's great, isn't it?
Hey, look at that!
Whoa! What is that? Is that...
It's a great big raptor. Is it an eagle?
It might be an eagle.
Wonderful beast.
Fabulous. Huge as well.
That's the great thing about, again, getting miles and miles away from the central population, that those kind of little thrills can happen all the time.
Sorry to interrupt you there with the cattle grid.
That's all right. Cattle grid shows authenticity.
Now, Oz, I've got a treat for you. You might think that whiskey is simply a destructive drink that ruined Robbie Burns' spelling and persuaded Scotsmen that they looked okay in skirts.
Yes. But what's this treat?
Well, you can have your treat in a minute, but first, some science.
Oh,
now,
God.
whiskey is a spirit produced by the process of distillation. In the early days of the motor car, petrol was known as motor spirit and is also produced by a process of distillation. It therefore follows that whiskey must be a fuel, and more specifically, a biofuel, because it is made with grain. Okay? Now what I have here is some Scotch Islay spirit. It's not technically whiskey because it hasn't been in a barrel for 3 years, which is the legal definition, but it is whiskey. That's what it looks like before it's been in the barrel, when it is merely distilled beer.
James, where did you get that from?
I got it. More interestingly, this stuff has been 4 times distilled for extra strength, and its strength could now be expressed as roughly 95 RON, or the same as unleaded petrol. And I'm told that if we put this into the fuel tank, come here, of this radical racing car, which has not been modified in any way whatsoever, then the car will start and we can drive it up and down the road on whiskey. Now, just so that you know that we haven't faked this for television,
I can't believe it.
and this isn't just regular petrol in a bottle, before I pour each lot in, I'm going to get TV's Oz Clarke to taste it carefully because it's extremely strong. It's almost 200% proof in the old money. I wouldn't swig it.
Oh! It is whiskey though. Oh.
Right, it's whiskey.
Oh.
Same bottle, haven't cut the camera or anything. The same bottle is going in the car.
James, look behind you. There's some...
Have looked.
Have you looked? Okay, James. Okay, first gear, nice and slow. Done, James. Well, that was thrilling. I really enjoyed my treat, as usual.
You didn't like it?
So, was that your case for Scottish biofuel?
Well, interestingly, no. Because 4 times distilled Islay Scotch spirit works out at £120 a gallon. So therefore, the moral of the story is put petrol in your car and drink Scotch whiskey. And that's a Scotch whiskey consumer advice fact.
Right.
You've still got your sunglasses on, by the way.
I haven't.
You have.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Anyway, the people who made your rocket fuel are Bruichladdich Distillery, and that's where we're heading. It was brought back from near extinction by Englishman Mark Rainier in the year 2000.
Bruichladdich is Celtic, you know, and comes from bruich, meaning grey, and ladich, meaning damp.
I didn't know that.
Well, you wouldn't, I just made it up.
Fathead. Anyway, we're here to find out about the art of single malt whiskey making. You're gonna love it, James, because they're still using the original machinery dating from 1881.
Welcome.
Sir.
Welcome.
You are Mark?
Indeed. Yeah.
Hello,
welcome.
Mark.
Welcome.
James.
Welcome.
So this is the mill house. This is where the barley arrives. 8 different varieties of barley, a whole load of different terroir differences.
The name terroir. It's like sort of doing that to a vampire. Don't fret, James. Duncan here is the distillery manager, and he's on hand to demonstrate these antique mechanisms. He might let you have a go.
It's okay, you were busy
Because
talking.
Duncan is an engineer, and he makes all this fantastic old machinery work and keeps it going.
Is he from 1881 as well?
Well, he looks it.
83, yeah.
So let's see, can we see some gristing
Can you
machinery?
get the machine going?
Yeah, sure.
Is this it? This is the mill,
This is it. Well, this is the balance.
I'm not going to become a whiskey bore and blind you with the complex process of distillation, but think of this as some short, sharp whiskey facts. Whiskey starts its life as beer. Firstly, the dried malt, which has been smoked with peat, is ground in the mill. It's now ready for brewing, and the first stage is mashing in this beast of a machine.
This is 19th century machinery.
Yeah.
So those gears will have been probably sand cast by a very, very skillful man.
Yeah.
Who will have mixed coal dust with the sand, I suspect, because it would improve the surface finish on the teeth slightly.
If you say so. Was that bullshit?
No, it's not bullshit. I used to work in a foundry.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm more of a brewer these days.
The hidden talent, did you know that?
No, I guess I've spent many fruitless hours listening to all this drivel. Quick, while he's in there, let the floodgates open, let the maceration begin. 30,000 litres of hot local loch water is added to the milled malt grist. The huge paddles stir the mixture of grist, water and James. The sugars dissolve and the solution is filtered through the holes in the floor. Something else then happens with yeast, but we're skipping that and going straight to the distilling room.
Good God, look at that.
This is where that beer, 7% alcohol, is now going to be turbocharged up to 70% alcohol.
The beer is heated, the alcohol turns to vapor, it rises up the neck of the still and condenses. Twice. Well, it's a bit more complicated than that, but anyway, here's what you get.
But that just looks like vodka.
Well, it is. It isn't whiskey yet, not until it's been matured for years in barrels.
So this is one of our warehouses, one of the 14. This is a nursery warehouse where we keep a little bit of everything maturing. The man who will explain it all is Jim here, who is the whiskey maestro.
Jim.
Jim.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
3 times Distiller of the Year. This is the man that makes everything happen.
This is a 10-year-old Bruichladdich, 1998. If you look at it, it's a Manzanilla.
That's interesting. So
Quite rare to get Manzanilla.
Dry sherry cask.
Yes.
That'll make a difference to the flavour.
Well, like our whiskey maturing here beside the Atlantic, these barrels breathe. The air around here, the seaside air, is going in. And so our barrels, our whiskey, absorbs that sort of marine flavour.
Now, if the cask is breathing out, as sure as hell it's breathing in. It's estimated, James, that every year from all the barrels in Scotland, that the angel share, which is the evaporation going to the angels, have a guess, how many bottles are lost?
A year in the whole of Scotland, 32 million.
160 million.
160 million bottles lost to the atmosphere.
Lost to atmosphere.
No wonder you're also clattered up here. Now I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Right.
Have a little taste
Here
of
we go.
Go, man, you can do this.
It's a whiskey moment.
Just hold it there. Now that's young. It's powerful. It's like you when you were 21. You're a rock star. I mean, look at you now. You're even more of a rock star, you know. You're more mellow and mature.
It's hot.
Behind you in that very small barrel is the famous X4.
What is X4?
X4 is just a code name we use to say that this whiskey has been distilled 4 times. When it was first made in 1695, the holy man who made it said, if you take 1 teaspoonful, you live forever. 2 teaspoonfuls, you go blind. And 3, your heart stops. So, would you like to take that chance?
Yes. So this will either make me immortal or dead. 3, 2, 1.
Look at me in the eyes.
That's remarkable. Wow.
It's
That is an exceptionally exciting whiskey drink experience, and you're still an ugly bastard. Incredible.
I'm speechless.
And that's the stuff you had in the car.
See, whiskey normally takes me to a very, frankly, dark place. For the
Cupboard. Right. That's
no, it's, you know, as soon as I smell whiskey, and certainly as soon as I taste it, it's the world closing in slightly until I'm in a, I suppose what in Scotland would be like a windowless bothy on a dark night with the rain outside. It's a last refuge, you know, and beyond that there is, all hope is lost. And that's where whiskey is, and it will either take you into the abyss or it will release you from it. But with this one, it's like one of those moments of great clarity of thought. You put it on your tongue and there's a moment when you see all the Jesus light coming through the sky and the clouds parting and the rain lifting and all those things. And it's very brief and then it's gone again, but it's there.
Because at the bottom of Pandora's box lay hope.
Exactly. If you dared to open it.
Ah, James, you're still an ugly bastard as well. And you still talk complete twaddle once you've had a few. But finally, whiskey has led you away from the dark place.
Please, sir, could I have some more? Just a little bit.
Next week,